Hello, and welcome back to Quest and Show, a play podcast where each week a new adventurer steps up to fix a broken kingdom. I'm the host and Game Master James, and who is joining us to embark on today's adventure?
Hi, I am Dennis, otherwise known as LambHoot on the internet, and I am joining today's adventure. My character's name is Yianni DeVito, and I hope we're going to have a good time.
I hope so too. Dennis, it's wonderful to have you here. In regards to guests, you were somebody who I kind of wanted for season 1, but I was also in the back of my mind. I was like, I don't know. Does this seem like a bit too nerdy for Dennis? Should I ask? Do I really want to expose myself?
Yes, because I'm a jock. I'm going to be like, oh my god, what is this nerd stuff?
I do, like, whenever I think of you, whenever I think of, like, you know, ranking, like, YouTube, like, hosts, like, you're pretty high, you know, and I don't want to, like, show myself up, you know, in front of the boys, but something did happen very recently, which kind of affected my reasoning for bringing you on, but we'll get into that in a second, because, first things first, Lamb, for the people at home, what would they know you best for?
Oh, I prepared a little thing so that it's not super awkward. What would they know me best for? And I can't find it. Excellent. Okay. I am a video essayist. I make videos on YouTube about all sorts of things. Typically, they have a little tech twist. I'm a software developer, and I try to inject that into it. They might also know me if they ever saw an old video like 12 years ago of some random kid reenacting cutscenes from Resident Evil 4. That was me. But yeah, those are my claims to... well, not really fame, but you know.
More, I don't know, fame to I mean, it's fame, but just on a kind of a different scale, essentially. So, you know, people...
Yeah, I guess.
It's stuff that people know and stuff that people recognize. But, Lamb, may I ask you, because I've been asking this for a lot of people recently, which is, what's your experience with role-playing games?
So, up until last year, none really. I never really played a lot of tabletop games at all. But my girlfriend introduced me to D&D. She got into it as a result of Dimension 20, College Humor's D&D show. Oh. And then I ended up watching basically every single season of of that. And since then, I've played in a couple of campaigns that she's run. So basically over the last year, I've gotten quite a bit of experience with this.
Yeah, and how have you found it, like, versus, like, because obviously, as you said, you've covered video game stuff more from kind of like a tech side of stuff. So how have you found it kind of going from digital to almost this kind of analog style of, you know, gaming, essentially?
Yeah, it's like, it's really cool how, like, creative it kind of goes, and, like, really anything can happen, and also just, you know, like, watching my girlfriend, like, plan campaigns for her friends and stuff, like, it's really cool to see just how little of the original, like, plan for a campaign might, you know, like, remain by the end of it, like, as, like, you know, players make decisions and then influence the following sessions and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. It's like it's like much closer to, like, storytelling and like improv than just, like, a game, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the one thing which, you know, from doing episodes of Quest and Show, is like everybody that you get on almost kind of, you know, the style of the episodes change just because everybody's kind of coming in with their own sort of, you know, even with their different level of experiences, but also, like, their different backgrounds and stuff like that, which I think is kind of a nice thing because, yeah, it doesn't really, you know, you're not getting the same thing it's not as prescribed as, say, a lockdown ones and zeros experience, I suppose. Yeah. But, again, that was one of the reasons why I wanted you on, Lamb, because, yeah, not only have I been...
I was like, what happened? I was like, I was like, oh yeah, that. Okay, cool.
Well, a little bit of that, but also because, you know, I've been a big fan of your content for a long time, and, you know, I consider you... Yours. Oh, well, thank you very much. And I consider you a pretty cool dude as well.
Thank you.
You have appeared on a previous podcast that I was involved in as well, so, you know, you're it's not even like all the corners of the food. It's like all the corners of the square, really, that we've got like tightly down. Which the newest corner being your tiny bit of tabletop experience. So I think this is going to be good. I think you're going to be a good addition to the ever evolving story of Quest and Show. So
cool.
Good for
Thank you. I hope so too.
Dave, no need to hope. I know for a fact it's going to happen. But
all right, cool.
Before we start, though, because Lamb, there is a chance that people listening to this have never listened to a previous episode of Quest and Show, because they might have seen that you're on here and they're like, oh, I love Lamb. I love anything that Lamb does, but I have no idea what this podcast is.
Yes.
So, in order to explain to the people at home, essentially, before we started recording, I asked Lamb to come up with a character who will be tasked with solving this episode's issue at hand. The character you have come up with being Yianni DeVito. And over the course of this adventure, I'll describe settings, characters, and situations, and it will be up to the player to essentially tell me how they'd like to proceed with their actions. And most of the time, these actions won't be challenged. However, there may be opportunities where they'll want to take the advantage, say get a drop on somebody or parlay for a better deal. Or times where they'll have to defend themselves, either through a little bluffing or combat. And during these occasions, they'll be asked to roll 2 6-sided dice. Lamb.
Yes.
Do you have dice handy?
Absolutely.
Would you like to do a roll to see, like a kind of a lucky roll to see, you know,
of course, to set the tone for the campaign.
Exactly.
That is a 5.
Oh no. 5 is not good. Well, I say not good. I like to think it makes things interesting. It makes you know it turns the heat up a little bit. It adds a little bit more spice to the stew. So, but hopefully we might be able to pull ourselves out of that. But here's the thing, Lamb, because you might get a 5, but there is an opportunity to improve on that score, because for each small advantage that your character has going into a situation, such as their gear or their special abilities, we'll add 1 onto the final result. But on the inverse, these things might have a disadvantage to him, and will remove numbers from the final result depending on the situation. So simply, high numbers lead to great results, and, well, what do you think happens when we roll low numbers?
Ooh, something not so great.
That has usually been the case, unfortunately. But I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think you'll have the opportunity to pull yourself up from the brink should you need to. But you also probably have the opportunities to make the most of great rolls as well. But like I said, see what happens with that. And obviously, the rules and the system are linked in the post below. Now, before we start, is there anything you would like to say before we get into the adventure proper?
Yes. To get in character, I just want you to know, and all the folks at home, that I do have a glass of wine.
Oh boy!
So hopefully this, we'll see how this helps. Can I talk about alcohol on this show?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as we're not like actively promoting a particular brand of alcohol, I think we should be fine.
Perfect. Okay, I'm good then.
Excellent. Right. Oh, and by the way, before we start, just keep in mind that your actions aren't just going to affect this adventure, but they're going to affect every adventure going forward. So please consider that in your decision making.
Perfect.
Excellent. Right. And with that, let's go to a place where everybody knows your name as we start at... what is the name of Yianni's business?
Oh, okay. I have to come up with a name immediately. Okay, Yianni's business is... I feel like... So for context, it's just like a place that it's not like he's not trying to give it a name to actually like sell anything about it. He probably gave it a name that he thought would attract people. So it probably just has like a name, like even though his name is like Yianni, it's probably called like Nikki's or something, or like some weird like Nikki's Bar and Grill or some weird thing like that.
Okay, I like that. So we'll start our adventure at Nikki's Bar and Grill.
Yes.
Now, Lamb,
yes.
Please, let's walk through the owner of Nikki's Bar and Grill, who isn't actually called Nikki. It's his actual name is, well, I believe you already said it. It's Yianni DeVito, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What's his backstory?
So Yianni DeVito is an ambiguously Mediterranean middle-aged man. Visually, he's basically just looks like Danny DeVito, but like maybe a little bit more tan.
Okay.
He runs a local greasy spoon. He serves all sorts of food there. The stuff you'd expect. As far as his physical appearance, he's probably wearing like an apron or something. He's got like a spoon in his hand. Maybe he's got like a pencil over his ear and a little notepad in his shirt pocket where he takes orders. That's kind of what he looks like.
Absolutely. And how long has he been running this business?
I imagine he's been here for a few years, probably not like a decade or something, but maybe like 5-6 years or something like that.
Okay, and what's his and what was he up to before that? What led him to opening this diner?
So before that, he lived somewhere else. I'm not sure where. I was thinking of making it Vikios, the place that Vasilios was from, Darkfry's character, but okay. I do know that place is technically connected by land, and to make this guy to give him like the immigrant backstory, I feel like he should be maybe like somewhere further than that, like somewhere separated by ocean if possible. I don't. It's up to you, I guess. But
absolutely. This is an island off the far away from. So there is the main island of where the landmasses of Trotolera, Dekio, and Jogathon and other kingdoms are based. But yeah, this is a little bit further ahead. There is quite a swath of ocean between it. Although these people do have a lot of crossover with the people of Dekio because they have pretty strong transport links.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So I figure, he came from some small island village. Maybe he was like a farmer there or something. Like maybe it's a small fishing town where it's like self-sufficient. Everybody kind of like manages their own thing. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's good friends. And his whole bit is that he, for whatever reason, decided to be the first of his family to migrate to come to the new land of Trotolera, kind of establish himself and make enough money to sponsor his family to eventually follow him. So that's his backstory.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about his skills. 3 things that define him from the rest. What are these skills?
So I put down command, wisdom, and misunderstanding, which like either of them on their own doesn't really make sense. I think it's the combination of them that together makes sense. And basically the idea is that like he's extremely, extremely confident and thinks he will misinterpret a situation just like due to like language barrier issues and stuff with such grace and confidence that like you wouldn't even know he had no idea what you just said. Like he will like interpret something the way he thinks it is and just like fully go on, like basically like come up with his own plan for every situation and fully commit to it.
That's pretty good. Very much a confidence man.
Yes, exactly.
Yianni. Excellent. But what would you say his expertise is? One thing that makes him extra special.
So I put cooking because obviously he runs a restaurant. I think wherever he came from had a really, really rich food culture. And I think he tries to bring that to the folks of Trotolera where he lives now.
Fantastic. And what are 2 things that he can't, like, that he always has on his person? What's his loadout?
He's always got kitchen equipment, so things that he can use to cook up a good meal, and exotic potions, also basically just, things that people can down and have a good time with, if you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying, so sounds pretty good. All right. So, Nikki's Bar and Grill is based in Trotolera, but a lot of people consider that the place is almost kind of like a... It's almost like a... Oh, God, I'm trying to... Oh, no, I'm showing myself up on mic now. What's the name of when you have a like an assembly for a different country within your own country?
Oh,
an embassy.
An embassy. Okay, cool.
It's almost like the Deccio embassy, because quite a lot of people who work and live in Deccio often eat at Nicky's Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
people
see
past like the fake name. They know like, oh, there's like actually a good cook behind this place.
Yeah, absolutely. But it also gets in a lot of people who are within Trottelera who may either, they don't know about that this is proper Deccio cuisine, so, they go in there and they think, oh, this is just interesting. But then some people who are a little bit more tuned in, they go there because, they're getting food that isn't the regular Trottelera stuff. Mm-hmm. And how's business been for Yianni?
I think it's been okay. I mean... Yeah. He's probably running it a little bit backwards too. He probably doesn't understand, guidelines and food safety things he has to follow, which means he can make different food than most other places. He probably doesn't understand like taxes either, so he's probably like unintentionally like pocketing a lot more cash than he should be. So like he's probably like unfairly doing very, very well at this restaurant.
Okay, so he's doing fantastically in regards to turnover and like head count, but most of that is down to him not doing the books correctly.
Yeah, exactly. But like not even knowing that he's not doing it correctly.
No, I think that's fair enough. Which may potentially be leading him towards something which he might need to react to very soon. That is unless, of course, somebody might be able to help him out. So, see what you've done here, Lamb? You've given me ammunition here, and now I can use it against you.
I know.
Dang. But this is now evening time in Trottelera. Things have started to wind down a little bit. Your competitors are starting to shut their restaurants, but Yianni is still working late into the night, even though it's now getting relatively quiet on the floor of Nicky's. Mm-hmm. I suppose I'll ask, what does he do to kind of wind down the business at the end of the day?
I think towards the end of the night, he has a few customers. He's probably like, counting cash in the cash register.
Sure.
And he's probably like, handing out like free coffee to like all of his guests who are still there, but it's like cold coffee, and basically like it's a message to like, get out of here, like it's time, I gotta close soon. So like he's trying to like subtly, like he's being very like hospitable. He's like, giving everybody like a little free taster, like a little free gift, but he's sending them the message that like, hey, it's time to leave.
Okay, and I'll say that they do very much get this message. I will say an interesting detail that you have noticed, Yianni, over the past couple of months, which is you have been having you've been having far more Deccio customers, and in particular Deccio police officers who have seemed to like set themselves up in Trottelera. The thing is that they haven't really told you why they're there. They're mostly just like, whenever it's lunch, whenever it's dinner, or they just want to get drinks, they will pop into Nicky's and kind of like, satisfy themselves. But like, you may do a little bit of chatting with them, but you haven't quite got an idea of what they're doing there.
So sorry, these are cops like from Deccio, or they're cops in Trottelera who just happen to be like Vickian or whatever you would call them?
Mix of both, but mostly cops from Deccio.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. If you want the opportunity to follow up on this, I will let you have so now, but I'm just adding that as a bit of a flavor.
Oh, like just like a check to like see what their deal is?
Yeah, your call if you want to do that.
Yeah, sure. If I can like gain any insight about that, yeah, for sure.
Let's do a nice little bit of character stuff then. So,
do
there
I roll for this, or?
Yeah, but we'll wait one sec. So
okay, sorry.
No. Lamb, it is absolutely fine. We're glad for you to be here. We're having a great time, so there are only two people currently left in the restaurant then. Both of them are Deccio Police Force guys. One of them is a human and one of them is a half-elf. One of them has been playing with a coffee liqueur for the past few minutes. Like, the thing hasn't been finished yet. While the other one has kind of like, he's finished eating his... I was about to say baklava, but that's Turkish, right? That's not quite...
It's Mediterranean. Everybody has their own version of it. Yeah, he's having baklava. Why not?
Yeah, okay. He's got like flakes of baklava like on his plate, and he's just like he's just been pushing it around and just like eating the crumbs of it. But the two kind of look like they are ready to sort of shoot off. But Yianni, it is your restaurant, the floor is yours if you want to get yourself involved.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I guess I'll come up to them and I'll ask them what's going on, if I can get them anything else. Eventually, I'm gonna have to speak an accent, but my friend, what's problem? I make something wrong with baklava? What's happened?
Nothing wrong with the baklava. It's delicious as always, Yianni.
Of course. I make, homemade.
Yeah, no, you can always taste it, but just a lot on our minds at the moment, Yianni. Nothing that you gotta worry yourself with.
Okay, if I can make something for you, let me know. I go back to kitchen. Good. And I guess he gives them a little look. He tries to. Maybe he looks at their table. Maybe he's probably not looking for anything suspicious. He's probably checking is their wallet even on the table? Are they ready to pay? But otherwise, he's gonna go back to the kitchen unless he sees anything cool.
Okay, roll 2d6 and we'll have +1 for wisdom.
Okay. That is a 5 again.
Yeah, and with a
+1, so 6. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's still pretty bad. You start to head back into the kitchen then, and you're looking back. And yeah, there are a few things that you do notice on the table. They do have their wallets out, which looks like, they are ready to pay up. But they also have a ton of paperwork on the table, which you can only make out little bits of. But the main thing that you make out is that they have a lot of headshots of King Pratt, the current ruler of Trottle Era. Mm-hmm. And then as you're kind of leaning in to get a better look, they do kind of notice that you're looking. And one of the officers just kind of perks up a little bit and he goes, "Actually, Yianni, maybe you could do something for us. My wife, she's always a big fan of the kind of the desserts and stuff you make. So how about whip something quick up, all right?"
Yeah, for sure, but it's cost you, not free.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem, mate.
Alright, cool.
You head into the kitchen then and you do a little bit of cooking up. You then hear the door open of the restaurant as somebody else has let themselves in, but you haven't got an idea of who they are yet. Mm-hmm. One of the officers, though, is starting to head into the kitchen and kind of leans on the door in as they're kind of watching you cook, and he goes, "So how much business you get through here every day, Yianni? People from Decchio, people from Trottle Era."
I guess I'm honest with him. I just let him know how many people, some few people come inside, lunchtime get very busy, a lot of people come after work, how many you think, huh?
Yeah, that's
turns the question back on them.
He just shows and he goes, like I said, I only pop in here now and again, and you always seem pretty busy, and I don't know, you're pretty well connected with a lot of people in Decchio, ain't you?
I feed everybody. If you call this connected, I don't know, but I make a good food and people eat.
Yeah, no, I suppose so, yeah. Nah, it's no problem, Yianni. It's just, I like to watch your work, and, there's always opportunities for stuff because, we've been in Trottle Era for a while now, and we've been working on this little thing, which, is still pretty hush-hush, but, considering you do know a lot of people in Trottle Era, you might have connections which we might be able to use, Yianni.
Like what?
I don't know. Just, I suppose. How much? How often have you seen Pratt in here, the king of Trottle Era?
So, have I, or
that is
does he come to this sort of place often?
That I can totally leave that within your realm. I will let you answer that.
Sure. Oh, I've got a good answer for you that plays off a detail you left in a previous episode. Ooh, Prince. King Pratt. Now he's king. I don't come here too often, high class. Normally, these guys go to, what is place? Hemlock Hoof, huh? Not come around Nicky Bar, huh? Is fine taste for them. Is not look for greasy food, huh?
So he's not much for Deccio cuisine then, yeah?
No, he's look for fancier thing, high class, high taste.
Yeah, high class, high taste. Exactly. Well, listen, Yianni, it's just if he ever does come through here, just like he decides one day that his stomach turns and he wants to, give Deccio cuisine a try. Because you're such a good talker, Yianni. You really get people speaking, spill their guts. Like, we'd really like you to get him to talk about something in particular. Maybe confess something.
What is confess?
Oh, nothing serious. It's just that, there's a little bit of evidence that points towards something that happened a couple of months ago. You probably wouldn't remember, but you remember when that tribe blew up? The explosives went off, and apparently there was one person there who was this, famed adventurer, and then they had a sidekick with him. Yeah. Well, we got a feeling that maybe the person who was the sidekick and the person who set the explosives was Pratt.
I see. Yeah. I remember explosive. I know this. I know this boy who do this. He's a good boy from my village. He ride around fast bike, motorbike. Yeah. I know him. I can ask. If he tell me, it's up to him. But if you tell me I have to ask, I do.
Road 2d6 plus misunderstanding.
So, is the misunderstanding that I'm not sure what they're asking me to ask? Okay, perfect.
And also just to kind of like cover yourself a little bit.
So just to know, if I roll high, does that mean I understood and I know exactly what they're asking me to ask Pratt? And if I roll low, I still I know they're asking me to ask him something, but I misunderstood what they're asking me to ask him?
Basically, yeah. If you roll high, they'll think you're being funny, and basically they'll back off and not get you to, like, part of this weird police thing. Essentially,
got it. Okay, cool. 8 plus, or do I add a plus to this since it's misunderstanding?
Yeah, I guess it just takes you up to a 9, essentially. That being said, though, you are also making something for his wife, so we could technically factor that. Yeah, you know what? Let's get that up to a 10 then. Yeah, I'm feeling generous there. The guy just kind of grins and he's just like, Yianni, your sense of humor, man, is crazy. As he goes over and he like slaps you on the shoulder, he's like, all right. Well, if Pratt comes through here, whatever. All right, just get him talking. But yeah, I guess we'll just leave the police work to the police officers, huh?
Yeah, I'm not cop, huh? You can tell.
Yeah, no, you certainly don't cook like one. For this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. As and you're just kind of left to do your thing, finish up cooking. You hand it over to these two. Yeah. You hand it over to these two guys. They salute and off into the night. There is somebody still in the restaurant, though. This was the person who let themselves in a couple of minutes ago, and they have found a little seat towards the back of the restaurant, almost kind of by themselves. They don't want to raise too much attention.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. Have they placed an order, or I guess I can go up to them and take their order?
They have not. Yeah, they haven't placed an order yet. They've just kind of sat down.
All right. I guess I'll walk up to them and I'll be like, my friend, welcome to the bar. Listen, I'm going to close soon, but if you order something very simple, I can make like a pasta with a sauce or a little drink for you, cold coffee, whatever you want, but only simple. So don't look the whole menu, my friend, please.
This guy kind of he wasn't he didn't expect you walking over, so like the moment you start talking, he kind of sits up a little bit and then looks over. This guy is a tall, green, and quite older-looking orc. But he's also dressed in finery. He looks like some kind of dignitary, essentially. And he has a little powdered wig on the top of his head. as he kind of looks over to you in his little glasses and he goes, oh, no, it's, I mean, a little drinky might be okay, but no, not at all. It's, I'm actually in here to, I guess I'm in here to speak to the owner of the establishment.
Yeah, me, I am the owner, but, and then I think I noticed that, like, he's wearing fine clothes and a wig, and I'm like, just so you know, at night, also, the price is double, so don't look at the price on the menu. Please.
Yeah, you, like, pull the menu away from him as you say that, and he goes, all right, yes, no, you know, keeping up this late, yeah, no, I understand, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know, as egg is cost 2 times as much from chicken at night, you know?
But this guy kind of puts out his big green hand then and pushes his glasses up and he goes, my name's Gordon Toblerone.
Gordon Toblerone?
Gordon Toblerone.
Okay.
Switching the name. Does Yianni shake Gordon Toblerone's hand?
I think he shakes his hand. He's like, Toblerone, like a chocolate bar. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Listen, and he kind of like looks over his shoulder and he goes, those two from the Deccio police force, weren't they?
Yeah, he's a police guy come to talk to something to me. I don't completely understand, but you know, he's nice boys.
No, they are. They're lovely, smashing lads, absolutely. What they're doing is, yeah, fantastic, absolutely. But, listen, Yianni, can I, and he's just kind of looking over his shoulder, just kind of a little bit panicked looking before leaning in. He goes, listen, your restaurant is going to become a pretty important place tomorrow.
Yeah. Why is it this? What is you make a threat to me?
No, not a threat. No, this is all.
Okay.
We just got to keep this on the down low because this was going to be a bit of a surprise. But King Pratt is going to be visiting your establishment tomorrow. And let's just say that the reason that he's doing so is because the relations between Trottelera and Deccio have been a bit strained as of late.
Okay, I understand. He's going to come here, take a nice picture, eat a gyro sandwich, and everybody think him see picture in a newspaper. Oh, look, he eat food from this culture, he's a good guy. I understand how it works. I can make gyro on time, don't worry.
You've nailed it in one, Yianni. Absolutely, you've got it. You've got it right there.
It's just a PR thing, like.
But then he kind of like looks over his shoulder again, and he then leans in and he goes, "But the thing is, Yianni, do you know who I am? Does my name seem recognizable at all?"
Yeah, of course. I tell you, Toblerone, like a chocolate bar, Toblerone. The one is a triangle you cut. And you get a piece look like a mountain?
No. Yeah, I mean, yes, but... and he's just kind of like looking off and then like looks back at you. And actually, I'll quickly ask, do you want to maybe roll some to see if you get like any inkling about the name Toblerone?
Other than the chocolate bar?
Other than the chocolate bar, of course.
That is a 6 without any bonus.
Ah, that was a... Actually, no, you've been based in Trottelera for a couple of years, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, like 5-6 years.
I'm going to factor that in then. I'm going to give you a +1 on that, so we're going to get that up to a 7. And I'll give you a little bit of information, but obviously it'll come at a cost.
Okay.
What you remember of the name Gordon Toblerone is that when it was the old king and queen of Trottelera, this guy used to be their financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And I say recently, but not quite. This was before the winter season. He quit his job after there was a death at Trottelera Castle when Pratt had hired a magician called El Cid, the Sorcerer Supreme, to basically.
Oh, he was one of the guys at the table. Okay.
He was one of the guys at the table, and more so, he was fingered as one of the people who might have potentially killed the person who died.
Okay.
And kind of in a huff, he quit his job. And he sort of slowly explains that to you before looking a bit worried, and he goes, let's just say that I might have acted a little bit rashly on that, especially because of the fact that that prince is now king of Trottelera.
So you regret quit your job, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, but there is a bit of a silver lining to all this, Yianni, which is my niece, Susie Toblerone, has fallen in both her and Pratt have fallen quite head over heels for one another.
Ah. Yeah. Love is a beautiful thing, everybody have to have. It's so good.
Absolutely. You understand better than anybody, don't you, Yianni? Love is the thing that brings us all together, right?
You have to work for love. It's not free. You have to work for this. It's hard work, but it pay off, like any good job.
Exactly. You do understand this, but their love could be sped up a tiny bit, as in they could propose and get married sometime soon, as in weeks.
So
days,
can I interpret? Like, am I interpreting this as like they are actually in love and this guy's just trying to speed up the marriage, or am I interpreting this as like they're actually not in love and this guy's trying to convince me that they are, and there's like some ploy to like have him propose, or like, do I like feel any malice here, or is this like, are they really together?
I can either let you roll, or I can sort of give you a vague idea.
I'll roll for it. Why not?
Okay. 2d6 plus misunderstanding then.
10.
Oh, okay.
Plus 1, so plus 1, 11 actually.
Oh boy. This is what you get from this, which is because you read the papers, and something that happened very recently was that somebody broke into Trottelera Castle, and the person who gave the eyewitness report was Pratt's girlfriend, Susie, who basically said that, this is terrible what's happened, although I'd love to talk to them again. You get a feeling, though, from the papers is that, they are in a pretty solid relationship. It's just, that's it. They're a couple, but that they don't really, they haven't really shown any interest of moving further from there.
Yeah.
This guy is vying that he wants Pratt to pop the question pretty soon. And the reason is, as he says in his own voice, because I would quite like to be the financial advisor again, and if the Hemlock and the Toblerone family were brought together, I mean, not only is there the opportunity that can happen, but maybe I might even get a better job out of it.
Okay, I think he understands like what this guy's trying to do, but I don't think he likes it. Like, I don't think he's a really big fan of this plan. I think he thinks it's a little bit sleazy. Like, especially like, he's a hardworking immigrant. He came to this country. He's like working hard in his restaurant to kind of like achieve what he wants. And here comes this noble who's like, hey, help me cheat the system so that I can get a better job. Like, I think he completely understands, but he's like, he really hates this plan.
Yianni, listen. All I want you to do tomorrow is just make a lovely meal for the king and his partner. Make it nice and romantic. Maybe you won't even have to say anything to him. Maybe Pratt will feel some swelling in his chest and he might pop the question on his own accord. But then maybe he might need a little bit of help with that, and I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with that, because, I mean, I do have a lot of string to pull in this city, Yianni. Even if I'm no longer the advisor, I still consult on a lot of things, and we could see your business, we could see Nicky's go beyond just Trottelera.
You want to franchise?
I could help you franchise, absolutely.
I always think when you franchise, it takes some authenticity away from a restaurant. But if you pay more, maybe I think about this. Okay, I understand what you ask me, my friend.
Okay, and what's your answer?
I mean, look, if two young people come to my restaurant and they love each other and they want food, I make food. If you need anything else, you can ask me, but for this, I can serve food for two young people. So I think he's basically like saying like, yeah, like if they come, he'll make food for them. Like whatever else you need, like let me know. But as far as like so far, all you've really asked me to do is like serve them food, and I can do that.
Sure, but there's making food and there's really making the situation a bit more
romantic. I put the lights close, I make it dark a little bit, candle. I know how to make it romantic.
Yes, and I'm sure that you may be able to give the king, some advice on how to, speak to women, pop the question, really convince him that this is something that he wants to do.
My friend, if he's in love, I will give good advice.
Right. Because I'm pretty sure he is in love, but he could be more.
More in love, yes, of course, of course.
Yes, okay.
I will speak to this prince, my friend.
Okay.
The king, I am sorry.
Yes, no, that's fine. I can barely get my head around it either. As he kind of gets up and dusts himself off, he puts his hand out and kind of looks at you singly and he goes, "We have a deal then. If things go well tomorrow, then things will go very well for you in the coming weeks and months, Yianni."
If this is a promise, I will hold you to it, my friend. And I think he shakes his hand.
All right. So you have locked yourself into the agreement of...
I'm running a date. I love this.
If Pratt can somehow pop the question tomorrow, you will get a franchise. Oh boy. Okay, so with this information in mind, Yianni, is there anything you want to do to kind of prepare before tomorrow?
I think, I'd probably like make sure that I like have all the things I need. Like, okay. I'll probably like replace my bulbs with like light bulbs that like are, like shiftable, so I can like set it like to dimmable light bulbs. I'll like get some like, I don't know, some nice candles because I probably don't have any. Or maybe I'll I'll get like some like one-off things that like are for meals that like he doesn't do often. He'll only do on special occasions. Like he'll get like a fondue pot, like in case they want to have fondue or whatever. I think he just like makes sure his kitchen is fully equipped to really serve the whole menu for the next day, or for whenever this is happening.
Okay, so you want to do a tiny bit of prep then? Yeah. I'll tell you what then. Roll 2d6 and I'll give you a +1 for cooking, and I'll give you a +1 for command. So we'll add 2 to the final result of this.
So 6 + 2, 8.
Okay, so I'll tell you what then. So most of the stuff you do manage to get through pretty fine. Like, yeah, you do give the place a sweep, and you do like the kind of like the old-fashioned stuff. Yeah, you manage to get it out, and yeah, it's all working as prescribed. Getting some of the food that you need though has proven a little bit tricky. There is somebody who will be able to help you out, but they sort of want something in return for it. Now, your business does have a pretty decent turnover, but you might not really have the cash to hand to kind of pay them off. So they've kind of given you, well, they've shown interest, basically. They're like, okay, Yianni, so what is it? Why are you, what's all this preparation for? Like, they're being a bit nosy in all of this.
Yeah, they're trying to get some details about it. I guess, honestly, I'll be honest with them. I'll tell them, listen, I get a good deal from a guy. He told me the king is going to come. We're going to do a royal feast. It's part way between PR stunt and part way between marriage proposal. You have to be very, very ready for good food tomorrow.
Oh, the king's going to be at your restaurant tomorrow.
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. It's supposed to be very down low. Nobody's supposed to know. But yes, you have to make a good food for the king and his girlfriend.
The guy kind of looks off then in the distance, as like kind of cogs in his head, and he looks back at you and he goes, "So, you and the king, you're gonna have them all to yourself, are you?"
Well, I don't know about this. My friend who come talk to me, he never tell me. fees alone. I'm assume I can open a restaurant for other people, but
I'm sure. But as is, you're going to be the guy serving him and making. You're probably going to want to chat to him, won't you?
Oh yeah. I'm supposed to talk to him, find out how much in love he is, and maybe propose to him. He make a propose himself.
Oh, a proposal. That's
yeah. Maybe listen, my friend. It all depends how much in love this guy.
Well, tell you what, Yianni, how about I make a proposal to you then, which is I can get you the stuff you need, but I want you to have a chat with Pratt and see if you can convince him of something.
Who is this guy that I'm speaking? He's like one of my food suppliers or something?
He's one of your food suppliers. He's next to a cart, which is like full of different meats and larders and stuff like that. He's a skinny human guy in brown leathers, essentially, but he has his hood up.
Okay. And I've met him like many times before.
Many times before, and you know that he's a slightly skeevy guy, but like he's never ripped you off.
Okay, I mean, I guess at this point I'm already doing some sketchy stuff just for my I'm like, what do you want? Depend what you want. You have to tell me first, huh?
Oh, well, the whole thing about when he brought in the task guard and then he got rid of the guy, but he's still got these toll booths all around, and sometimes people want me to bring stuff into Trudlera, which they don't want me bringing in. But if you talk to Pratt and say that I'm a nice guy and all, and there's nothing they need to check in the back of my cart, then I can do business better, and I can, that's going to help you out. So, yeah, that's the deal. I'll give you the stuff you need, and, well, you make sure that Pratt is singing my tune.
I think he understands what this guy is saying. Like, clearly this guy is, like, bringing some illicit stuff in. But I think he's also thinking, like, man, there's some fresh cheeses from back home that, like, for some, like, weird, archaic law that, like, is still in place that doesn't need to be, like, he can't import this cheese for whatever reason because, like, it has too many levels of who knows what.
Yeah.
Like, so I think he's thinking, like, okay, this guy clearly wants to do some illegal stuff, but maybe this is a way for me to get, like, a taste of home back into my restaurant a little bit.
Okay.
So I think he's going to be like, okay, listen, I understand what you want, but for me, have to make sure you promise to me you bring some good stuff, some good ingredients from my village, and I want to have good cheese, good meat, good pasta. Everything, this plate is going to taste so good. You have to bring me this illegal food, my friend.
He kind of just looks over his shoulder and he's just kind of like, rubbing his teeth with his thumb. He's like, yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, it's already illegal, so yeah, well, what the hell? Yeah, he puts his hand out as to kind of like shake on the deal.
All right, cool. Yeah, I shake on him. I want some good cheese.
Okay, so you're gonna get so food and prep is absolutely fine. Then you got everything that you needed, but but you basically promised this guy that I'll talk to Pratt.
I would talk to Prince Pratt about this.
Yeah, but the guy kind of like points his finger in his and it's like I said though, I'm gonna keep keeping an eye on this because Yianni, if I don't get this stuff in the city or whatever, double the price for you next time, all right?
But what?
as like he's off then, like that's his rate, which
just
is
bounces, and I'm just stuck there with this like, crap.
You have like big armfuls of the stuff that you need, and it's like, oh wait, shit.
All right, sure.
Okay, so you have been given you have only been told that today is when Prince Pratt will be coming in. So it's the next day, and you've been told at some point Pratt will be visiting with his girlfriend for a nice PR-friendly meal in a Deccio restaurant. You're not quite sure what time, though, and like as the morning turns into afternoon and the lunch rush comes in, people are, coming in and out and stuff like that. So you get a better feeling that maybe it might be the evening that they are coming in.
Yeah, of course, it's a date.
Of course, it's a date. As you are working throughout the day, though, and I guess a quick question, do you have like does Yianni have other members of staff and stuff like that?
I think, like, generally he doesn't. I think, like, on a typical day he runs everything himself, but because he knows, like, stuff is going to happen, he probably has some, like, extra staff just doing, like, waiting or setting tables, and they're probably, like, not official staff. They're, like, some other immigrant that he knows, like his kid. There's his young kid who like can't find a normal job, so he's giving him a job at to staff his restaurant or something. It's probably like like some second young cousin of his or something who's running setting tables.
Family of friends. Yeah, no, I totally get it. But during the afternoon, before you wrap up for the lunch rush, one of these people does come up to you, a little human guy, and he goes, "Yeah, you having a bit of an issue in the kitchen?"
Oh yes. What is problem?
There's a rat in there.
A rat. Oh my god. The king is come today. If you find a rat in my kitchen, oh my god. The food guy is going to come say, no safety, no food. Okay, I deal with a rat. And I go straight to the kitchen with I'm about to kill this rat.
Okay. You head into the kitchen then, and what you see eating a big chunk of cheese is a rat. But a humanoid rat.
Oh my god, okay.
As this rat looks kind of in your direction and like kind of its little ears perk up and it puts its hand up and he's like, I'm sorry!
Oh my god, this is no normal rat. This is a man rat. This rat have hand, feet, mouth. He can talk. This rat, my friend rat, put down the cheese right now.
It's looking at the cheese in its hand and it he's just kind of looking at you, but he doesn't want to put the cheese down.
Do I recognize this rat man or?
No. This is news to you.
This is a brand new rat man that I've never seen before.
Not only that, but humanoid rats in Trottelera, news to you. I mean,
okay, I've never even seen this before. Okay.
No, this is brand new.
I think if it was a regular rat, he would have gone straight to violence. But I think the fact that this is like a humanoid rat, he's probably like a little bit afraid to just like chuck something at him. So he probably wants. I want to like speak to this rat and like
go ahead.
Comment. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to intimidate the rat. I want to like rat. You are not. I think he's also struggling with the fact that this is the first humanoid rat he's ever seen.
Yeah, cool.
And the implication of that is like blowing his mind.
Yeah.
And he's like, me, I come in here. I think there is a rat in my kitchen. I'm going to punch him. But I look you are a normal guy. You don't need to steal cheese. You can have a job. You can work somewhere. Why you need to steal cheese just because you're a rat? Well, my friend, put the cheese down. And I'm going to find something for you to do. And I'm basically like, I'm offering this rat like a job washing dishes.
Whoa. You know what?
Suddenly a new person has entered my kitchen who like clearly cannot go out the front door. And I'm like giving him an out as in like, I will pay you if you just stay here and wash dishes tonight.
2d6 plus command plus... I'm going to give you another one just because I really like this idea, this weird direction. Go for it.
That's a 7 plus 1, so 8.
Oh, yeah, then... Okay, alright. the rat's just kind of looking at you and he's like, if I get this job, can I keep this cheese?
My friend, maybe we can talk about cheese after, because this cheese I need for recipe. So I'm going to cut off the part that you chew, but maybe maybe people order Parmesan, I cut for them, but if there's any left over, maybe this can be your pay, huh?
Well, okay, that sounds good. All right.
Okay, my friend, what is your name, by the way? And where you come from?
Oh, the Scrappers, that's my name, and he points to the floor, like, down there.
You come from floor?
Deeper than the floor. Sewers.
Let me ask you, you are half rat, like, you are half man, half rat, like, your father is rat, your mother is man? Or,
no,
how it work?
No, mother and father look like me.
You are a whole new species nobody ever discovered until today in my restaurant.
There was a dwarf guy a couple of days ago, but yeah, no, I guess you've discovered me, yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Not only you are first rat discovered, you are first rat to have job in my kitchen. Welcome to the staff, Scrappers, and you will wash dishes. You know how to do.
He's like, I don't know, he's like looking around, he's not quite sure what a dish is.
I'm gonna sit down and give him like tutor him and like show him how to do this job, because like Yianni does everything on his own, so he knows how to do every job in his kitchen, and he's just straight up gonna teach this rat man. He wants to teach him how to wash dishes.
We have a wonderful montage then as we play like the theme tune to The Facts of Life as you help this rat like do it, like you try and put an apron on him, you do like the motion of just like he's good, you push the blade around, you know.
We're like very playfully like throwing a sponge in the water and all the soapy water is splashing up.
Yeah, there's bubbles everywhere. This rat's face is like the hair on its face is like, you know, stuck out, stuff like that. Oh yeah, you're having a whale of a time. And it's almost like time melts away as, it's time again for the evening call at your restaurant. And yeah, you're up one member of staff now, which is pretty good.
Excellent. I probably like tell all the rest of the staff, like, don't freak out, there is a rat man in the kitchen, but it's okay, his name is Scrappers, and he has a job.
There is a rat in the kitchen, but it's a good rat. It's fine. He's a working rat.
He's a friend rat. One day, this rat can go to college if he work hard.
Oh, that'd be good. And with that, almost kind of feeling like there's a little bit of electricity in the air, you do see outside the window that there is a small, very small entourage of guards. Just like two guys in metal armor who they just kind of look through the window and, you know, make sure that everything's looking A-okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him, old King Pratt.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I mean, you know what Pratt looks like. I mean,
I've like seen him in the newspapers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You saw the thing that he did at Christmas when there was the hostage situation. You know, little bits of news that happened, and most recently, you did see his headshots in that Deccio police officer's folio, because obviously they wanted to get him to confess to potentially murdering something. But Pratt is kind of heading towards the restaurant door, and behind him is his girlfriend, who, much like the green orc who visited you yesterday, she is also a green orc, but not as big and not as old looking.
What was her name again?
Susie.
Susie Toblerone. Oh.
Susie Toblerone.
I think. Okay, never mind. I'm good.
Okay. Letting themselves into the restaurant is Pratt, and he's kind of waiting there because he's not sure how this works.
Oh, he doesn't understand that he just sits down and that's it.
Yeah,
okay.
he thinks
I hear the little bell ring and like I see him come in, so I know there's people. I'm like, all right, here we go time. So I think I'm like, you know, behind like the counter. There's like probably like a little bar there, and I'm like, my friend, sit anywhere you like, my friend. Make yourself comfortable. I come for you. I take your order. And I point him maybe to like, I like tell him he can sit anywhere, but I kind of like gesture to like a good spot.
Okay, you kind of like point towards the booth.
It's like right under the vents, or it's not right under the vents. It's got like a good view. It's like a nice like quiet spot. Like I know it's like all the places in my restaurant are good, but like this one is the best spot.
I imagine because this is like a proper like old fashioned family style restaurant. You have it like you know, the walls are painted with like you go to like a Mediterranean restaurant and it's just like, you know, white buildings and like blue seas and stuff like that. You point to like a wall, you point to the wall that has that, whereas they
have their own little booth. It's like
yeah. All right, he nods and he goes he just kind of nods sheepishly and he kind of wanders in, and his girlfriend follows behind him as they both go and sit inside. Those two guards that were looking in the window earlier, they also head in, but because they're a bit more aware of this stuff, they just grab a seat at the bar, essentially.
Okay, so are they his guards or are they just like random? They are his guards, right?
They are his guys.
Okay, and they're not. Okay, I maybe I offered them like, if you want, you can sit close to them, but you want to stay at the bar, it's okay. And maybe there's like a mirror. I'm assuming there's like a mirror behind the bar so they can still keep an eye on him or something.
Yeah, and the guy shakes his head at you and he goes, "No, we want to make this look natural."
Cool. Good for me. You make an order and I will take if you want.
Okay.
But don't drink on the job, And I just like keep like I want to just like tease these guys the whole day.
Okay, yeah. The guy just kind of like he just shakes his head at you and he orders ouzo. They're going to be knocking back ouzo for the rest of the day, I think.
Oh, perfect.
Oh boy. The lovely couple are there for I don't know. I guess whatever's going, whatever's good, I suppose, Yianni.
All right, yeah. So I go up to them and I bring my little notepad and I get ready. I don't I'm trying not to speak or say anything yet, but I just like walk up and I give a little cough because I'm pretending I work at a much better restaurant, and I make it clear I'm ready to take their order whenever if they have like a drink first or if they have an appetizer or whatever.
Okay, and they've been chatting to each other a little bit as you kind of head over, and she's like, "Oh no, it's wonderful. Oh, they made the loveliest food. Yeah, you're really gonna? Oh, are you sure? I mean, I'm only really used to what they make in the castle and all that. But yeah, if you and he kind of like looks out of the corner of his eye and he sees you, and he's like, "Oh, hello."
Hello, my friend. Listen, I promise to you, this food is, I will be honest, is like nothing you ever have before. You will not be used to this. If you always eat what you have in the castle, the cook make for you, this is very different. But I promise to you as well that you will like. So, anything you like, I will tell you about what this food contains, and we will make sure that your meal tonight is going to be exactly what you want. Oh. And I'm just trying to like go above and beyond, give him like good service.
Okay. Yeah, he's just kind of like just kind of adjusting his clothes a little bit, and he's just like, "Oh, all right. Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, all of it looks nice. Some of the words that I can understand and stuff like that. He's just kind of looking at Susie, and she's just like, you know what? Yianni? Is that your name, right?
Yes, this is my name, yes.
How about we'll let you it's your restaurant. How about you show us the best stuff that you got here?
Oh my goodness, my pleasure to make food for you, my friends. Okay, I will come with something for you to taste. And I think I am extremely nervous that I'm making food for nobles, and like I know it's not stuff they're used to, so I'm thinking like, what is the like blandest food? Like, what is the easiest like to please someone food I can make? Like, can I just put like sauce on pasta and call it a day, or like do I have to do something a little bit crazier? But at the beginning, I think I'm heading back and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna make them like a little appetizer, appease them while I figure out what I'm actually gonna make.
Cool. Roll 2d6 and plus 1 for cooking.
Okay, I have a plan. If I roll well, I know what I want to make them. 6 plus 1, so 7.
Okay, what do you want to make them?
Zucchini chips, straight up. Fried zucchini chips, battered a little bit. Like something they can nibble on really quickly, but like a nice tower of zucchini chips. And I think it's all in the presentation. They're like, they're not just like loose on a plate. They're all like skewered. So it's like a plate with a giant skewer of zucchini chips, and you just pick them off one by one. They're gonna love it.
More fantastic. Yeah, you head in and Scrappers is there, and he's just kind of like awkwardly pushing a brush across the floor. He's not really sure how cleaning works, but he's just...
Hey, it's the dish you wash, not the floor. We talk about this during montage. You have to understand this, my friend. But very good job. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Okay. He heads back to the sink then, and
but you don't wash a dish with a mop. It's a different brush, my friend. Please. I'm just trying to make sure he's not using the broom to wash dishes.
Oh God, yeah, no, that is what he's doing. The funny thing is that he's just cleaning the dishes that he's like the dishes that he's cleaned. He's been cleaning for hours. That they can't get any cleaner. Like you can, like they look like those chrome balls that they use in films to like get to do HDRs.
Reflection.
Like they can't get any shinier. But yeah, you pull out some zucchinis, you chop them up, you flour them, you fry them, and yeah, in no time at all, you're heading back over to the table. But because there is a complication, you are listening to them a little bit, and Pratt's just kind of like, I don't know, Susie, like I don't really like being around you and all, but it's just like, I mean, remember when that spider guy took you hostage, and then when we went to the circus and I got choked out and stuff like that? I just hate the idea of, if I stick around with you and all, like, I just don't like the idea of you getting hurt or anything like that.
As like she's okay.
Yeah, she's kind of putting her hands on his hands, and it's just, oh no, Pratt, it's fine. I love spending time with you, even if sometimes it puts me in mortal danger, but that's okay. As, yeah, you kind of get an idea of Pratt being like, oh boy.
It's like a Spider-Man situation. He's like very afraid of like putting her in danger. He wants to save everyone. How does he save her? Oh no. Okay, I got it.
You see Dr. Octopus outside your window about to throw a car. Spider-Man say, no, not quite. But you get a horrible feeling that he's probably not going to propose. In fact, this seems like the opposite of a proposal.
Yeah, I see. Okay, well, I hear this as I go up, and I'm trying to think, oh my god, okay, I have to, like, what's a good anecdote that, like, I'm clearly trying to send them a message, but I'm also trying not to make it obvious?
Sure.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know what? I think I go up to them and I serve them the food. Nice for you to start. Nice zucchini chip, nice fresh flour butter, everything is good. You know, I love a couple in love together. You know, my wife and my daughter live very, very far away back home, and I think all the time, you know, the journey to come here is very, very dangerous. I will be honest with you, my friend, but the time you spend together is worth it, because one day you think, maybe I'm safe right now, but you never know what if you spend so much time with someone you love. So, you have an opportunity, you take it. And if something bad happens, yeah, it happens sometime, but it's so good to be with somebody you love. And what you're gonna love next is the next thing I bring you. And then I go back to the kitchen and I try to, like, figure out what I'm gonna make as the main dish.
Tell you what.
And I just drop that, like, shred of wisdom that makes no sense on them.
I want to let you have that, but I also want to see if this may generate something. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I thought you were going to say if they even understood anything that I just blabbered about.
Well, tell you what, roll 2d6 and we'll add +1 for wisdom and +1 for using your backstory.
Cool. That's pretty good. 6, 7, 8 plus
2 is a 10. Oh, boy. Wow. Pratt is just kind of like, as you were telling the story, it was almost like music was welling in the background, not like what do they call that old-fashioned, like a mandolins, like playing in the background?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
going off. Yeah.
Diddling, as like, yeah, you're telling this beautiful story, and Pratt's just kind of like, I guess everybody does have a pretty hard and you need like a rock to rely on, don't you? No, fair. Yeah, that's a good point that you've made there, Yianni. Okay, all right. Hey, but this food looks delicious. Well, thank you.
No problem. I come with main course soon.
Oh, great, thank you. As you head back to the kitchen. As you kind of look over, you do see them going for these zucchini chips, and much Excellent. Like Lady and the Tramp, their hands are like overlapping one another, and they're giggling and stuff like that.
See, that's the trick too, because it's not like a plate full of them; they're on a skewer, so they have like sometimes their hands will like they'll touch each other. We were going for the same chip, like.
So you are a man who knows how to generate chemistry, Yianni.
Yes.
Now, you head back into the kitchen to make their main course.
Mm-hmm.
As you head in, you see that Scrappers is being held hostage.
Oh no. I just gave him a job. Okay.
Okay, as you head in, Scrappers' mouth is covered by a black leather hand, as there is a thief or a rogue of some sort who is dressed in all black leather holding them hostage.
Is this rogue the only person there?
Apart from Scrappers.
Okay, and is my other employee is like in the back or who knows where they
are? They've gone off for a smoke break.
Perfect, okay. What? I think I look at the rogue and I just say, what's the matter here? What do you do to my employee, my friend?
The guy puts his in his the guy in his free hand tries to do like a hand motion of shush.
Oh, he's not speaking. Okay. Yeah. Once he says shush, I realize this is gonna take a little bit longer, and I just I go over to the counter and I start pouring myself a little glass of wine. I'm like, I don't need this right now.
Do you know who's out there? Jesus Louise. The guy with the rat is moving a little bit closer to you so he can talk to you more directly, and he's just like, let's play this nice and cool. Alright.
Yes.
You know who
Very
that...
cool.
Yes. You know who that is out there, don't you?
Yes, he's my customer, and if you are in my restaurant, you are my customer too. So, what you want to eat, you're going to tell me. If you don't make me order, I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich. Okay?
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, I'm straight like sipping wine, like I don't give a crap, and I'm just like, I want this guy out of my kitchen right now.
Oh, do you want to like intimidate this guy?
I think like with my casualness, yeah, I just want to like intimidate him with like how chill I'm being about this.
Tell you what, 2d6 and we'll add +1 for command then.
I have a 7 + 1, so 8. Okay.
This guy's kind of like looking through you then, and he realizes, okay, shit, maybe I'm not going to be able to get what I want here. So instead, he's going to... Oh, so here's what he does.
Yes.
He kind of nods up and down then, as you say, like, no, yeah, fuck off. And through doing so, he throws scrappers at you, and he makes a break for it.
Okay, so scrappers is like flying towards me. Okay.
Yes.
I want to figure out who this guy is, because so far today, everybody's trying to manipulate me. One guy wants me to get the prince to marry him, his daughter, his niece. Another guy wants me to figure out the illegal material situation, which I don't know. And this is a third party that I have no idea what this implies, who he's a part of, or if he's just a third guy. Mm-hmm. So I do want to figure out who this guy is. Okay. So I think if possible, I would like to like reach over to like, because we're in the kitchen, we've got like all the food prep stuff. I want to like grab a handful of like souvlaki skewers, and I just want to like chuck them at him and pray that like they pin up his clothes and like he gets pinned to a wall somehow or something.
2d6 and we'll have +1 for kitchen equipment.
Oh, I love that counts as kitchen equipment.
Of course it does.
This is an 8 + 1, 9. Holy shit.
That's a 9. Okay. I will say this then. Scrappers is... Like, this is all happening in slow motion. You've gone for the skewers, but Scrappers is still flying in your direction.
True.
Scrappers may smash into you and cause you to smash into the wall behind you, creating a cacophony which may get the attention of the guards who are still drinking at the bar.
True, because they're outside, yes. Well, I could use their help, honestly. That would be useful to me.
That is a fair point. And I was going to say that the other option is, let Scrappers fall through, and you throw the skewers to grab this guy. So your option is stop Scrappers or stop this guy, but you're going to go for stopping this guy, right?
But I don't, because if the guards see what's happening, then they might not be happy with the rat man. I need to protect my employee. No, okay. Ooh. I'm gonna protect. I'm gonna protect Scrappers. He's my new employee. I don't want him to get hurt on the job on his first day.
You put your hands out then and you bear hug Scrappers, and you put your feet out so you don't even move essentially. Mm-hmm. However, this guy has made a break for it out the window. Hasn't made a noise, though, is the only thing.
Is there any chance that, I could chase this? I could, run out and, run out the back door and something and, see where he goes or something like that?
Sure. I will give you 2d6, but I'm going to give you a -1 based on your physical description of Yianni.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's a 4 anyways. So
oh, no.
All right.
You're hopping up and down at the window and you're just like, hey, what the fuck? And it's this guy is scurrying. This guy is doing wall kicks and flips up walls to get onto rooftops, and he's just like, damn, I'm not going to be able to keep up with that. What the hell?
Crap. I think there's just too much on the line right now. I really want to figure out what that is, but I think there is so much happening right now. I have a new employee who, if anybody finds out that he exists or that his entire race exists, I don't know how they're going to react. They might not react as well as I did. So
sure.
And there's 2 different situations I'm trying to deal with. I think I just brush this off. I close the window. Maybe I put a lock on it. I lock all the doors, and I just secure this place. I'm like, I've got food to cook. I gotta keep service going.
You're putting the place on lockdown, are you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you have that. You tell your employee was having a smoke outside the window. This guy jumps through the window and then just scurries up, and you're just sticking your head out the window get inside now, thank you. Yeah, you lock this place up, but you don't make it like you even lock the front door, but you don't make it look too.
Yeah, because I don't want to alert the guards to the fact that I did that. But it's all like glass doors, I'm assuming anyway, so like people could just bust through if they really need.
Yeah, exactly. And as you kind of do so, you do look over, and the happy couple still seem pretty happy, but nowhere near Pratt popping the question yet.
Okay, I think at this point, I'm going back to the kitchen and I'm trying to figure out what I want to make for their main course. And I think I want to make something that, like, I can basically, when I deliver it to them, also mention the fact that, like, oh, I could have made this so much better if I had the real ingredients. Too bad they're illegal. And then, like, bring that conversation up. So I think I'm going to make, like, I don't know, like a base, like, I don't know, like some orzo with, like, some sort of sauce on it and maybe some shredded cheese and then, like, a fish on the side or something. And I'll probably just make 2 platters of the same thing and they can both have it.
Tell you what, that sounds pretty tip-top, and I will say, I'll let you roll 2d6, and I'll give you +1 for cooking, and I'll give you +1 for wisdom on this, because you're essentially using this to segue into what the guy wants.
I rolled 8.
Oh, +2 is a 10, though, yeah?
Nice.
Excellent, alrighty. Chop, fry, cook, all that sort of stuff. Scrappers is kind of watching you with intent, though, because I think he's quite excited by all this, and he's obviously like, oh, thank you. Oh, nobody's ever shown me that kind of gratitude before, sir.
Oh, it's no problem for you. The best perk of work in a restaurant is after hour, we close, I make you good food if you want. But for now, just keep busy with what you have to do. And then I go out to... Or sure.
Yeah, he goes back to wiping dishes then, and you go back out then to play up.
And I maybe give him a little bit of advice. I'm like, listen, next time though, somebody come inside and want to mess with you, pretend his face is a dish and you have to wash. Understand? And then I just leave.
He nods up and down and goes, yeah, no, I understand. All right. So, excellent. You go over and the happy couple, they're back chatting again, and Pratt's just like, I mean, I don't know, Susie, I know that you would get right privileges and stuff as queen, but I mean, that's quite a, I mean, I don't know, that's a lot to think about, I suppose. I mean, I don't want things to move too quickly, And she's just drumming on his hands. But yeah, sorry, you go ahead.
Am I getting the vibe that, like, he really does like her? He's just very, very concerned with the fact that he puts her in danger by being with her?
Yeah, and he's also just a giant dog. He's not really. He's just not very.
Oh, he needs a confidence boost. Okay,
he does. Yeah, I would say that's excellent. The main thing he needs.
I think. Okay, so I think I serve them the fish. So I come to their table and I bring them the platters I made. I'm like, my friend, nice gift from the sea, like we call. Very good. Back home. Though, if I could make this for you, my God, I catch these fish, come to my neighborhood all the time. We catch fresh. I put a nice fresh kashkaval, I grate fresh. It's so good. It's very sad that all of this food import is illegal here because, toll booth and all of this, it get confiscated. It's very sad for me I can't bring the flavors of my home. And not just for me to share with people like you to have. If I could do this... It would be a great deal.
Okay. You wrote a 10, so, like, Pratt's just kind of, like... He does look at the meal and he goes, oh, God, that does look pretty good, though, doesn't it? And, like,
it could be so much better, I tell you, it could be so much better.
Like, he's kind of smelling it and even, like, picking it out a little bit, and it's like, wow, this could be better.
Oh. Yeah, of course. You have this fresh from your house. Oh my God. I tell you, fish come fresh from the ocean, straight to your plate. Never see a refrigerator. I swear God, it's so good.
I mean, the drugs and the magic stuff has been a bit of a problem at the border, but maybe we are being a little bit too aggressive about that sort of stuff. I guess I'll have a chat to the toll guys in the morning and see if we can soften that up a little bit. Especially if we can get food like this, huh?
Yeah, of course. Always have to be careful, because you let in powdered cheese, you let in other kind of powder. You have to be careful. But
yeah.
Food is magic on its own. It's so good.
Oh yeah, I can tell. Yeah. Oh God, I just want to get right stuck into this stuff. All right, okay. But
all right. I think I'd like to like right before I leave their table, I want to just reach out like a really long match and light like a candle that's on their table.
Oh,
and then I
cool.
want to head back and make sure like I bring them a couple glasses of wine before I leave.
Oh, cool. Okay. Road City says some +1 for exotic potions, because wine could be considered such a thing.
Excellent. Oh, no, 5 + 1, 6.
I can figure something pretty good with that.
It's like okay wine. It's like mediocre wine.
A little bit better than that, actually. You do look and you go, oh yeah, no, I got some pretty fine wines here. And, he is royalty, so why not? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you do bring wine back to the table. And like before, like Pratt just kind of looks at it, but he looks at Susan and she goes, oh, come on, it's a special occasion, isn't it? I guess so. As, yeah, you do bottle up and, you pour it out and you let them just kind of, they raise glasses and, take a sip as, you head back to the kitchen then. And I guess what do you want to do? Like, those guards, they're just kind of keeping themselves entertained and,
yeah. Could I, like, maybe, like, nudge those guards and just, like, serve them a drink, serve myself a drink and just, like, chat with them, try to, like, get a vibe on the prince and Susie?
Sure thing. Yeah. So, what do you want to? Yeah. So, you pour them up.
I come to them. Oh, my friend, hard to work, but everybody have to do. So, what you do is like babysit what you do, or more like political guard kind of guy.
Yeah, one of them snorts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, I guess you could call it babysitting." Looking over, this guy's the biggest baby you're ever gonna find, but decent payer though, and good laugh.
But, to me, maybe you think he's baby, but I listen a little bit to conversation and I find he's a responsible guy. He have a lot on his mind. Even him, he don't have a privilege to even fall in love and not think about the danger come to him. He have a lot he have to think about. So, maybe you call him baby, maybe you think he have to be very, very careful what he do.
The other one snorts and he goes, nah, I don't even think that guy even knows what love is. Like, looking over it, from what I understand, that's his first girlfriend.
Everybody have to start somewhere. Why you judge this guy? Give a benefit of a doubt. Huh? Look, you come to this restaurant. Name is not even my name. It says Nikki Bar and Grill. You judge this restaurant from a name and from a door, what you see outside, you get a very different than what you find when you come inside. And this is what matters. What inside the restaurant is the same as what inside a person, what inside his heart. And what this is what I tell to you. And I'm just lost in words.
Sure. But the guy just kind of giggles and he's like, yeah, nah. Brad over there, he's just a big kid. The guy's never even drank alcohol before. Adult kid like him, and he's never even had a drop before. As you have a look over, and Pratt is like he already finished his glass, and he's poured himself another one.
Oh no!
That was the result of your bad roll.
Oh shit!
You kind of look over and like your eyes kind of well, but those guys haven't got an idea of what you've clocked yet.
Oh shit. Okay, because here's the thing. I was thinking of like for dessert making them like a nice little like strawberry milkshake with like 2 straws and giving them like a shot of something in there.
Oh.
But now if he's I don't know.
I mean you still could. You still could.
Honestly, maybe I could.
Why not? But these guys are just laughing. It's like, yeah, you're an interesting guy, Yianni, and I mean, I'm glad we came here, because we very rarely go to Deccio stuff, but, hey, the Crown wanted it, and, it certainly looks good for the papers now, don't it? As, he kind of looks over his shoulder, and you do see that outside the window are scribes who are etching the date that these two are on.
Oh, perfect. I want to, like, make a mental note later to, like, make sure I get one of these pictures so I can pin it up in my restaurant. Like, look, celebrities who came here. Like,
one of them kind of looks over his shoulder at the board that you have behind the bar where you've awkwardly merged your etchings of your head onto bodies of other people. And he's like, so you must live a pretty exciting life then, Yianni, to meet all those people, huh?
Oh, yes, of course. I meet so many people come here for food. Food bring people together. People you never think, huh?
I guess not, huh? But, as you kind of hear, like, the creaking of wood behind you, as...
Back in the kitchen?
Oh, actually, no, sorry. The creaking of wood in front of you as your kind of attention is on these guys. And then you look up and just lumbering over you, eyes kind of like wall-eyed, and he's just kind of like swaying back and forth with the stupidest grin on his face is the king, who's like, yeah, you got somewhere I can do kingly business, if you know what I mean.
My friend, yes, we have what you say, a toilet in the back, and then I maybe like snap to one of the guards, like in a very because I know like someone has broken into my restaurant previously, just to make sure like a guard goes with him because it looks like he needs help.
2d6 plus command.
Just commanding his own guards. Oh, that's very good. That is 9 plus 1, so 10.
All right. Yeah, the king, the guard looks over at the king, who kind of looks out of it, essentially, and he kind of looks at you and puts 2 and 2 together, but he's not going to set... If anything, he's trying to hold back a smile, because this is kind of, like, really tickled him.
Yeah, that's just what we talked about.
Yeah, and he just gets up and he's like, all right, okay, no, I'll help you over, kingly duty and all that. Oh, you're a swell guy. I should give you a promotion or something. I should give everybody a promotion. That'd be nice. As he kind of like then wanders over to the bathroom. And because he rolled a 10, didn't see the right guy in the kitchen on the way past, so that's all good.
Perfect. I'd like to, while he's gone, I'd like to go to the kitchen and like whip up like a really quick like sober up sort of thing, like some sort of potion I have, like a tomato juice with a celery and like a raw egg in the middle, like something like I know has worked before. And I want to like rush it straight to the table, and as I put it down, I think I want to like have a conversation with Susie for a minute.
Cool. 2d6 plus cooking plus exotic potions then.
Oh my god. 2 plus 2, so 4.
Oh god.
Oh, it's just a raw egg in a glass.
I'll tell you what then, because you do try and do this quickly, like you just grab whatever you can, like, and just throw this thing together as you then, like, you keep looking back and forth, like, is the king coming back anytime soon? But But yeah, you slip over to the table and you put the drink down then. I will say that will be the complication of this bad result. But you do have the orc who's still kind of like eating and chewing on stuff like that, just kind of looks over you smiley, like...
Yeah. I think I want to like talk to her, and I'm like, your name is Susito, yes?
Susie Toblerone, that's right.
Ah, very good. I can't help but overhear conversation. It's a very small restaurant. I live here all the time, so...
Oh, sure.
The prince, you seem to love him, and he seems to love you. And the problem is what he thinks is too much responsibility to be with somebody, to put her in danger. But something you have to remember, right, is... In this society we live, for some reason, there is this pressure for men to propose to women. But it don't have to be this way, Think about this. My wife is back where I come from. And I'm here. Because my wife is a boss of me. You don't have to sit here and wait for something. If you want something, this is a free society. You can ask what you want to have. And if someone want to give to you, they will give. You can ask a question. And if him want to say yes, he will say. If you want to say no, maybe he will say no. But this is your decision to make if you want to do. It seemed to me like you want to do.
Roll CD6 plus command.
Well, am I commanding? Like, please propose.
I mean, it's kind of like, it's sort of like a command, but...
oh god, 4 plus 1, 5.
Oh.
God damn, that would have been so good.
God damn it. I mean, I kind of want it to... I'd say you what, then? You know what, there's going to be... actually, we can make things a little bit more interesting, I think. Mm. All right, don't worry. She's kind of nodding up and down as you say this to her. She goes, yeah, you know what? Yeah. I mean, it's a modern age that we live in,
Yes.
Women have got to take... women are, as got much of a say as anybody else. And sure, yeah, maybe he's the king and all, but I don't see why I can't... go out and ask him, and yeah, I love him and he loves me, so why not? I can take care of myself.
The one thing you have to think is if you do this, everybody think this, but everybody know this. Me, I don't believe personally, but there is popular opinion that the king is like a baby, like a child. People talk about this. We have to be honest. And maybe to some people, when they find out the girlfriend of the king proposed to him, maybe they look at this like a sign of a weakness. But what you have to remember is the people who think this is already stupid people who are not going to have a good opinion anyways. Because there is so many people. Think about all of the women who find out this happen and they feel proud that, oh, somebody take what it is and he make a question, Don't worry what is going to look like in a paper, because think about how it's going to matter to people who you care about. And I'm trying to just like there's definitely that vibe of like people find out like the king couldn't even propose to his own girlfriend; she had to do that for him. Some people are gonna his guards and stuff are gonna think, oh, this freaking loser. But like those are people who are losers anyway, so like it's not worth thinking about them.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the result of the 5, which is. That totally gets through to her, and she thinks, yeah, I don't see what the issue is. Like, just because he's the king and all, who cares if he doesn't propose? I'll say the bad result of that will be all the bad stuff that you just said will probably come to pass.
Yeah, I figured.
You just kind of hear the wood creaking, like, as the king comes back from the toilet, and he's just like, you got a lovely bathroom in there, Yianni.
Thank you, my friend. I keep very clean, very, very, very clean.
As he looks at the table, is that for me as well? As he picks up the drink.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it don't taste good, but maybe at work. I don't know.
Hey, sorry, I love drinking. Drinking's great. As he just knocks the he's like somebody who plays rugby. He just like pours the thing into his mouth. He's just chugging it on the spot. Puts the empty glass down and sits down, but he still looks pretty out of it.
Okay, well...
Hey, dessert would be good, huh?
Yeah, if you want dessert, I make for you. Anything specific? If not, I whip what I might want to make.
Oh no, you've been making great decisions all night, Yianni. You go ahead.
Very good, my friend. The decision you make to make me make a decision is good decision for you. And I go back to the kitchen.
Excellent.
I try to like give him a little bit of confidence that like he's doing the right thing, letting me call the shots. Like he's not like giving up on that. It's a good call.
I'm going to say this much then. I'm not going to make you roll for cooking. You're just going to have this in the bag. But you just you keep looking outside of the kitchen like, all right, let's see what happens next. Because, dominoes have been set up now. They just need to be knocked down. Yep. And you are just kind of looking over and like, Susie, she's kind of pumped herself up a little bit. She's grabbed his hands and she's kind of taken control of the situation. She's just like, Pratt, I got something I want to talk to you about, okay? I know that we've kind of danced around it for all this time, but I got something in me that I gotta get out of my system, okay? And I just hope that, you say exactly what I want, which is that I love you very much, and I love the time I spend with you, and even though it might put me in danger and all that, I can't see myself doing anything more than spending my life with you, okay? So, what I'm gonna say to you is, King Pratt, will you marry me? And Pratt just kind of looks a little bit like, he's just swaying back and forth as his guys kind of like do brighten up a little bit. Like, emotion has kind of overcame him as this has gone through. Like, you and Scrappers are looking outside the door as like, oh gosh, is this it? And Pratt just kind of leans in. He puts his hand on hers. And then he vomits all over her.
Oh no.
And all over the table. That solid yellow oak from your yolk from your drink just rolls off onto the floor. Oh, the guards are on alert as they look over at what the hell has happened.
The moment this happens, I want to just rush out and I want to like draw the curtains so that none of the scribes see this.
Okay.
And I'm on cleanup duty immediately. I call my other employee, not Scrappers, the other one. Okay. And I make sure like I'm cleaning this up immediately. I'm like, and I'm trying to like brush it off too. Like, it happened to the best of us. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And I'm just cleaning up everything.
2d6 plus command.
Oh my god, double sixes! Holy shit!
Oh my shit! Boxcars, baby! Choo-choo!
Oh.
Look, it's turned around. Oh my lord! All right, well, let's break this down bit by bit then. Yeah, you managed to pull the curtains across, like... The scribes haven't quite got an idea of what... Like, they've just seen Pratt lurch forward and, like, Susie react, but they don't quite know what the hell it was by the time you pull the curtains across. The guards got up and they're, like, heading over, but you just said to them, you know, it happens. Like, I would say as a positive on this, they're not going to take it as... he got food poisoning. They're going to take it as he drank too much. So you got yourself covered by there. But yeah, you head over and like Susie is kind of like freaking out a little bit as like Pratt is just leaned across the table, just groaning.
I think I'd like to like as I come up to like bring like those like garbage like restaurant merch T-shirts that just have the logo of the restaurant on it and just like here for you, new clothes. You can put this fantastic. And just like throw these shirts on them.
Okay, yeah, Susie does kind of take that as an opportunity of like. She kind of like smiles and nods at you and she's like, yeah, accidents happen. As she like, goes to find somewhere to put the t-shirt on. But you're just kind of left with Pratt who just looks totally like whacked out.
Yeah. Oh god. Is he like conscious? Like is he okay?
He is conscious, but he just looks out of it from vomiting up this really nice meal that you made him.
I don't even know if it's worth talking to him. King, are you okay? Can I do something for you to make up for this? I find out after that you never have alcohol before. Maybe, you know, as customer, it's your responsibility to tell me you never have. But, you know, leave it at that. Can I do anything for you?
I do.
Oh, no! No, wait, she's not here, though. Oh.
Yeah, and he's just kind of looking at it. He's like, wait, Susie, where have you gone?
But, okay, I don't know if I want to tell her that he said that or not, because, to be fair, he is very deeply under the influence, it seems, so I don't know if he can consent to this at this moment, but I have a feeling that it is genuine and that, like, the alcohol is just helping his, like, real feelings come out, so...
Yeah.
I want to like take this information that I know that he really does like her and he would have said yes and just store that in the back of my head and be like, okay, I just got to make sure that they can make it out of here. Hopefully when they go back to the castle, they'll talk to it, like, you know, they'll talk to each other a little bit more. But I think like this dinner helped them get on the right track.
Do you want to comfort Pratt a little bit then?
I think I'd like to like tap him on the shoulder a little bit, ask him if there's anything I can do for him, if I can make him like a coffee or something.
2d6.
Okay. 7 plus nothing, 7.
Okay. Brett just kind of leans up then and he just starts crying because he's embarrassed and stuff. And he's just like, milk would be nice if you have milk.
Of course, my friend. I even have, and this might surprise you, I have chocolate milk. I can make for you.
You have chocolate milk? I love chocolate milk.
Or if you want, maybe it's not good to have dairy after you vomit, but if you feel like it, I can make chocolate milkshake for you.
That's okay, I just need to get the alcohol out of my system.
Alright, cool. And I just pour him a tall glass of chocolate milk.
You head then to the bar to pour him a glass of chocolate milk, and you just hear a come from the kitchen as you pop in, and the orc girlfriend who went to like go wash herself off in the sink has met Scrappers.
Is she like surprised?
She is surprised, but she hasn't done like any adverse reactions.
Oh, okay. She's just like, this is very strange. I've never seen a rat man before.
She's surprised, yeah.
Oh, princess. Do not worry. Or is she a princess? No, she's just a dignitary. Or
she's just a dignitary. Yeah, she's just she's related to nobility.
Okay. Susie, do not worry. This is my good employee Scrapper. You see, I try to give opportunity to people who don't find very often. And actually, maybe you are a very noble person. You don't see very often, but behind the back of almost, I say, 60% of restaurant in town, you will find a nice, good, hardworking rat person like this man who someday going to go to college. So don't worry. Just wash yourself. Leave, please, the kitchen.
2d6 plus commands on this.
I just want to convince her that this is normal and you're just so rich you don't even know.
I'll tell you what, why another +1 for misunderstanding then? You're using your powers of misunderstanding energy to convince her. So what 2 to this?
I rolled 9, so +2, so 11.
Bitch bash bosh, alright. She just nods up and down because she's still a little bit shell-shocked from being vomited on and meeting a rat piss, and goes over to the sink, cleans up, puts your t-shirt on, and heads... Well, she looks over at you and she's like, is he okay out there?
He's very, very good. I think he realized something happened, and I think he understands what you ask him, but I think it's a good idea if you ask him maybe later when he's feeling more like himself, Maybe you will even find the answer you hope to get.
She nods up and down then, and she kind of leaves you and Scrappers to it as... Yeah, I think you're just kind of given a moment to decompress, essentially, because you need it.
Jesus Christ. Am I making them dessert, or everybody's just chilling for a minute?
I think everyone's just chilling for a minute. They didn't say they did not want dessert, but it's your call if you want to continue on. But
I guess I'll just casually make something, but I'll take it really easy and I'll get to them in 20 minutes or something. I'll let them just decompress for a bit.
Okay, so yeah, you just kind of you're sitting next to the bar then, and those guards are going back to.
I'm putting a fresh brew of coffee. It's gonna take a while, but they're gonna have fresh coffee soon. I'm taking my time.
The little lad who works for you, who isn't Scrappers, he's cleaning the floor around them. He's moved them to another table to kind of away from vomit. And Pratt's just kind of Pratt's just very upset from embarrassing himself. So he's just his face is on Susie's shoulder, and she's just kind of cuddling him and mothering him a little bit just to chill out. But
this is so cute.
I will say, though, by the looks of things, I mean, you did manage to convince him to lessen the restrictions on importing, so that seems good. Mm-hmm. You have, I would say, as well, also managed to get a proposal to happen, just maybe not in the way that
just
things...
not. It didn't. The response never came out in time.
Yeah, and. I guess the only thing that you didn't do was get him to confess to murdering, which, hey, I don't think you really wanted to do that
I didn't really care about that.
No, you didn't really want that to happen.
In love.
So, yeah, I get...
It's there's only so many courses that I can come and, drop, by the way, I murdered this fish. Maybe you murder somebody?
I also would say that there's only so many courses that different people can appear in your kitchen and be like, right, I need you to get Pratt to do this for me. So
it's okay. I don't need the franchise. I think my restaurant is good as it is. And if I get fresh ingredients, it's going to be so much better.
I think franchise is probably going to happen because of the result of what has happened. If you want it, of course. That was more of a... But... I would say from there, because the rest of the evening goes pretty smoothly, the king and potentially the new queen have left to go, and the scribes, as they head outside, they do see the name of the business emblazoned across their chests. So double bubble on that, and they are none the wiser of what happened really to the issue, to the vomiting, but they may get a good idea of what is going to happen after that. But I would say that you're out there pretty safe and sound, Yianni.
Except for this break-in that happened that I haven't gotten to the bottom of, which I don't I'm thinking eventually he would maybe call the cops and be like, "Yo, by the way, this happened," but I don't think he wants anyone to know that there was someone in his establishment on the day that the king was there. I think he just wants to pretend that never happened.
Okay. So I guess what I will ask is, that's a good detail to add to what I will ask, which is, what happens next for Yianni, because he's going to get quite a lot more business after what's happened with the royal couple.
Yeah. I think, yeah, definitely his restaurant's probably going to get a lot more business, and he's going to think about this is an opportunity he didn't know he would have to like have so much more business and try to like put a lot of it away, keep it, maybe put some of it away to sponsor his family. But I think he's also thinking, whatever the circumstances of it may be, he now has a new employee who seems, he reminds him a lot of himself when he first came here. He came from somewhere where people didn't really understand him. And he's thinking, if I can help scrappers go to college, I'm going to do that. So I think he wants to help, like, sit down with scrappers right one night at the restaurant, like when everybody's left, sit them down at a booth and like get some paper, like look at some college applications and maybe, like even like a trade job or something. And, think like, what do you want to do with your future? You can't work at this restaurant forever. Eventually you got to do something cool. So, okay. I think he's gonna, he's gonna think about his cool rat man who works in the back and try to, help him plan for a future.
Fantastic.
And, also think about his own future with his family someday.
No, that's true, because obviously he's doing all this to try and get his family over to Trollaris, so, yeah.
But, he wants to make, he chose this place for a reason. It's because it's a place of opportunity, and if a rat man can't go to college in this place, then what's the point bringing his family here, Like, he wants to make this a place worth living for his family, so...
Exactly.
I really like that definitely there was, like, something extra to this rat man, and I probably just completely sidetracked it.
There may be, maybe. That's all I'll say, maybe. Alright, well I think with that is another adventure wrapped up. So, Lamb, how did you find it?
I loved that. That was so cute. I had no idea what you were going to do because I wrote my guy very much as like a sedentary hero, like a guy who just sits at a kitchen. And I was really wondering what you were going to set me on. And this was really, really good. This is above and beyond my expectations. This was so good. Man.
Glad to hear it. And that all went really nicely. I mean, like I said, you only have so much tabletop stuff. But yeah, the improv and stuff was just all super smooth. Yeah, you managed to rise to the occasion of
managing a dinner date. It was so good.
How many D&D modules are there about just matchmaking couples, I suppose. So hey, people at home who are better at writing modules than I am, there we go. You can have that idea for free. That's a pretty good one. But
man.
I guess with that then, as we move towards wrapping stuff up, are there any last plugs or any shout-outs that you want to make?
I guess I'm good. I don't know. Check out my YouTube channel if you want. Otherwise, check out Hot Cider's YouTube channel. Otherwise, I don't know. Who's someone random we could shout out?
Matt
MML?
Yeah, go ahead. He hasn't even been on the podcast. Maybe this will convince him to come on the podcast. That'd be good.
Maybe. Check out Matt MML's. His channel is called MML's Commentaries. He makes amazing videos. He's one of the first people I ever met online, which is really, really cool. And he has a great channel, and you should check out his stuff and comment that he should come on this show.
Yeah, that'd be good stuff. And yeah, I guess that is that. So thank you very much for coming on the show, Lamb.
Thank you so much for having me. That was so much fun. I may have peaked on the audio a few times. I'm really sorry.
Oh, don't worry.
You kept surprising me, so
I can't stop peaking on the audio. It's a very peaky podcast, unfortunately.
Oh God, it's so good.
But yeah, that's been Quest and Show for another episode. I have been the GM and host, James. You can see my stuff at Hot Cider on Twitter. This is Patreon supported, so I'd like to thank our producers VG, Valerie B, and Chasm. And until next time, goodbye.